Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. And today we are taking a dive into an update on the real estate market here in Maryland for the month of April to look at exactly what's going on here in the market, going over some figures from Maryland Association of Realtors from the month of April so we can give you an idea of exactly what you're looking at here in Maryland's real estate market. So let's jump into it right now. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Living in Maryland channel where we discuss all things living here in the great state of Maryland. So if that's the kind of information that you are looking for, then you are definitely in the right spot and we really appreciate you being here. And if you are thinking about making a move here to Maryland, if you're thinking about buying or selling a home here in Maryland, we absolutely love helping out in any way possible when it comes to that process. So however you feel most comfortable reaching out, whether that's by phone, text, or email, days, nights, and weekends, we've got your back when moving here to the great state of Maryland. All right, everyone. So as mentioned, we are jumping into a real estate market update, going over some April figures from Maryland Association of Realtors. They come out with some good data each month, just kind of giving us a snapshot and going over some figures as to what's going on in our real estate market here in Maryland. So I tend to focus on Central Maryland here on this channel. So we're looking at counties made up of, the greater Baltimore area, on down to DC and everything in between. So we're going to jump into some of those figures here. Kind of an overall snapshot. We are sitting here when looking at April of 2023 compared to April of 2022. We are looking at 1.2 months of inventory here in the state of Maryland, and that's across the board within the state of Maryland. So what that means is that we are still in an extreme seller's market. So if you are a homeowner, if you are looking to sell your home here in Maryland, there's it's still as good of time as any. Now, the problem continues to be, where do you go? What does your next buying situation look like? And if you're here in Maryland, and especially Central Maryland, that becomes very challenging, something that you need to prepare for. And if you are a homeowner or a prospective homeowner, home purchaser in this marketplace, and it continues to be challenging, and just kind of unfortunately, that very, competitive style real estate market that we have kind of been in for the last 3 years, ever since COVID, hit back in 2020. So unfortunately, I thought, or was hoping that we would kind of leave that and it would just become a little more neutral and just kind of even. But things settled down a little bit in 2022. And then back here in 2023, things have just gotten very competitive and a little crazy again. So definitely things to, prepare for depending on which side of the transaction that you may be on. And then another figure that I'm paying attention to closely in this real estate market is overall units sold. So overall transaction volume. And this is one of the major drivers of kind of the type of market that we're in right now, right? So very competitive, and a big reason for that is the transaction decline. So when we look at Maryland across the board from April of 2023 to April of 2022, we are down as far as overall transactions 33.8%, almost 34%. Less people are transacting overall on real estate than in April of 2022. So, over a quarter less people, well over a quarter less people transacting in real estate this time right now versus this time last year. So a huge factor in just, keeping that competitive nature of our market. There's just not enough homes for and to meet the willing and able demand that is out there in order to purchase these homes. So kind of a major factor that I always like to kind of remind people of, that I'm paying attention closely to, is that transaction decline. And again, that number is 33.8% decline from April of 2023 to April of 2022. And then just to jump into some other figures as far as Maryland across the board as an entire state, a couple other things I like to look at. Is the average price. What did that do? Did it go up? Did it go down? Maryland across the board as far as a state increased 0.8% in April of 2023 year over year from April of 2022. So we're looking at an average sales price of $467,986 versus last year being $464,000 even roughly. So we're looking at that average price increasing. The median price in Maryland increased 1.7% year over year from April of this year to April of last year. That's an increase to $396,500 versus $390,000 this time last year. So again, you've got limited inventory leading to some increase in overall prices here. And then one other figure I like to look at as far as Maryland statewide figure is active inventory. So in April of this year, we were at roughly 7,500 active homes. And then this time last year, we were at around 9,400 homes. So you're looking at almost a decline of 2,000 units there. Again, just kind of leading into that limited inventory and kind of causing that crunch and that pressure, upward pressure on pricing there. So that's not a surprise to see homes go up a little bit when you see active inventory going down in that way. And then, as I've done in previous videos, I also like to jump into some of the more county specific numbers just to give you guys a snapshot and an idea of what's going on specifically in some of these central Maryland counties, because looking at a state as a whole, it may not be exactly what it's looking like at a local level when you're speaking to the individual counties that make up central Maryland. So right now we're going to jump into some of the more specific counties so you can have an idea of exactly what that looks like depending on the county that you are considering here in Maryland. So first off, we're going to start off with Anne Arundel County. This is a large county that stretches from the southeast part of Baltimore on down pretty much towards DC. So it's a pretty tall, long county. So we're looking at, as far as units sold, we're looking at a pretty large figure here, 42.1% decline. So we've got in 2023, as far as April, 540 units sold versus April of last year, 933 units sold. So a pretty big decline there. You've got average sales price in Anne Arundel County going up 1.1%. And you've got the median sales price increasing 2.2%, up to $460,000 from $450,000 last year. And then as far as months of inventory, you've got 0.9 months of inventory, so under 1 month of inventory, which is pretty crazy. And again, just to give you a quick idea of months of inventory, that is basically real estate's absorption rate. So exactly how long would it take for all existing homes on the market to fully sell and no longer be on the market. So that's kind of what we're looking at as far as, and when you hear the term months of inventory. And then another thing I like to look at is the median days on market. So you've got in April of this year, 6 days. So the typical home in Anne Arundel County is going under contract in 6 days, which is pretty crazy. So, and then we're going to jump into Baltimore County. Baltimore County has a 30.5% decrease in overall units sold. So that's down to 689 units sold in April of this year from 991 units sold in April of last year. And then you've got a pretty large average sales price increase of 7.5%. And then a median sales price increase in Baltimore County of 6.9% increase. And then you've got 0.9 months of inventory in Baltimore County as well. So again, very, very tight as far as inventory. And then you've got the same median days on market in Baltimore County being 6, the same as Anne Arundel County. So again, very, very competitive in almost all of these counties. Next, we're going to head out west a little bit to Frederick County. So we've got Frederick County having a 30.7% decrease in units sold. You've got actually a minor decrease in average sales price of 1.6%, and then a median sales price decrease of 2.5% in Frederick County. So a little bit different than some of the other counties that we just discussed. And then you've still got a very competitive and low days on market of 6 days as far as the median days on market, and a 0.7 months of inventory. So still pretty tight, but the prices did drop a little bit in Frederick County. So that's interesting to see as well. Then you've got Howard County. We're going to head back east a little bit to Howard County. You've got a 33.6% decrease in transaction volume, overall units sold in Howard County, down to 265 units sold from last year of 400 units sold. And then you've got an average sales price increase of 0.8% and a median sales price increase of 8.7%. So pretty large increase there as far as the median sales price. And then you've got 0.8 months of inventory in Howard County, and then a median days on market of 5 days. So very tight, very, very competitive in Howard County. Montgomery County is very similar. You've got a units sold decrease of 38.5%. So that's a big number as well. You've got an average sales price increase in Montgomery County of 2.3%, and then 2.4% as far as the median price increase. And then you've got pretty much similar on par with these other counties of 0.9 months of inventory. And then 6 seems to be the number of the day here as far as days on market. And it's the same there for Montgomery County. So 6 days as far as the median days on market figure. And then we've got PG, Prince George's County, which is closer to DC. So you've got a 30.4% decrease in units sold. You've got a 3.2% increase on average sales price and a 5% increase on the median sales price in PG County. And then you've got 1.1 months of inventory in Prince George's County. So a little bit of an increase from some of the other counties, but still very much a seller's market there, being at 1.1%. We're looking at anything under 3 months of inventory as being a pretty heavy seller's market. So if you're kind of looking at that, they're kind of what we have learned is under 3 months of inventory is a pretty extreme seller's market. Anything from 3 to 6 months is what you typically see as a buyer's market, a neutral market. And then anything over 6 months becomes, much more of a buyer's market. So that's kind of how that breakdown works. And then you've got 11 days being the median days on market figure in PG County. So things are moving just a hair slower in PG County, but still very, very competitive. So that's kind of what the local counties here, as far as a breakdown there, is looking like. All right, everyone, thanks so much for joining here. I hope these figures shed a little bit of light of what we're working with here in Maryland. Overall, a very, very competitive, very tight inventory market here going on. Things do not appear to be slowing down yet. If you ever have any questions about what it looks like to sell a home here in Maryland, what it looks like to buy a home here in Maryland, we absolutely love helping out in any way possible. So feel free to reach out anytime, and we will see you at the next video.